It's been so cold. I had to turn the heat on in the house today. So last weekend I did a Zoom workshop on making pop-up characters, and at the last minute I changed my mind about which style of pop-up I wanted to do, so I thought I would make a video to show the new style of pop-up. I already made a video on the Alien family pop-up, and this one is going to be a family of cool cats. Maybe you remember the pop-up family of aliens that I made a while ago while I was doing samples for my pop-up workshop. And here's another example that I made. I don't think I made a video on this one. This is basically an accordion fold booklet, and just this last week I had this change of plans and I decided to do this style of pop-up with these three cool cats here. So I thought I would make a video showing how I made that pop-up, this new pop-up. And basically you can start out with several sheets of cardstock. Plain paper is probably not sturdy enough. And you'll need some scissors, and you'll need a way to create your characters. They don't have to be people or cats. They can be buildings or birthday cakes or any kinds of things. But I'm going to do cats, and I'm using this rubber stamp that I carved a little while ago, and I'm just using a stamp pad to make the images. They'll all be the same color. This time I decided to do this red cats on bright yellow paper. 3 stamps, and you could draw your figures if you like, or you could do a collage like I did in the accordion fold book. You can use junk mail to create your characters if you like. There are magazine images, all kinds of things. But as I said, I'm going to do these 3 cats, and the next step is to create the body. So I'm just going to do really simple blob shaped bodies, and the important thing for this style of pop-up is you want the bottom of whatever it is, whether it be a character or birthday cake or whatever, you want it to be flat so it rests on the ground of the card. And I'm using some of my washi tape collection. Washi tape is this colorful masking tape, and I've got quite a collection. It comes in all different colors and patterns, and one of the things I'd like to do this year is use up my collection of washi tape before I buy any more. So that's what I'm going to use to decorate my cats, and I'm going to make stripes on them, some horizontal, some vertical, mixing things up a little bit. And because I like the color of paper that I have underneath, I'm not going to fill up all the space. I'm going to let some of the yellow show through, and some of these stripes are going to be random, and the cat on the left is going to get a symmetrical body pattern, and the cat on the far right, I made a plaid design by having the stripes going horizontally and vertically, crossing over each other, creates a plaid. And now I'm going to cut out the character's body and head, and because this washi tape is transparent, I can see the lines that I drew through it. But if you can't see the lines, you might have to redraw them or wing it. And I'm going to add a little bit more decoration. I felt like this cat was a little bit plain, so I added a bit more decoration to it. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create the background, the inside card that the cats are going to sit on. So I'm folding the card in half. That's going to be the outside, and this green card is going to be the inside. Both of them get folded in half. Both of the cards are the same size, and it's easiest to do this if the 2 cards are the same size. So the purple card's going to be the outside, and the green card's going to be the inside. And I want to make sure that the cats are not going to be too big to fit into the card, and these cats are not. They'll fit inside my card nicely. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the notches out. You can see the notches here on this previous sample that I made. I'm going to create those notches along the fold line that are going to let the cat stand up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out little notches for each of the cats to sit on. And I want the cuts to be parallel with the sides, and I want the fold, when I fold the notch, to be flat as well. So it's kind of an L-shaped notch, and I'm going to fold everything back and forth carefully so that those notches will pop up. You'll see what I'm doing here. It might take a bit of fiddling there and folding things back and forth to make sure that they pop out nicely from the card. You can see here that they didn't have to be the same height. I can create different levels there. Now I want to make sure that each of my characters is, the pop-up hinge is not going to show up when I place my characters on there. And I also want to double check, because the pop-up is going to sit at the base of that tab there. When I put everything in place, I want to make sure that my characters are not going to be showing up outside over the edge of the card. And now I'm noticing that the middle one is quite far forward, so the ears actually do peek out. And I'm trying changing them around, but I don't think that helps. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom to make that one a bit shorter, so that when the card is closed, everything will be tucked in inside and you won't be able to see it from the outside. So the other two look like they're okay. So now the next thing I have to do is I have to attach the cats to the hinge there. And I'm going to use double-sided tape, but you can also use a glue stick or white glue. But the important thing is to make sure that the glue, or whatever adhesive you're using, only goes on the front part of the flap, because if it overlaps, or if you get some in other areas, like on the back of the cat, then things could get stuck together. Your card could get stuck closed. So you just want to make sure that whatever adhesive you use is only going to go in the area on the front of the flap. And I'm peeling it off, and now I'm going to stick each of my cats down, making sure that the base lines up with the bottom of the card, with the bottom of the tab against the card, so that the cats don't look like they're floating in space. Well, they won't look like they're floating. You'll just be able to see the tab. If that's the look you're going for, great. But if you don't want to see the tab, then make sure that the base of your cat lines up nicely at the bottom there. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, there's one more step. Fiddle a little bit, make sure everything is nicely in place. Now when I close the card, you can see where those tabs were. And that's where we're going to use the other card to cover up those teeth-like openings. So you just glue your next card onto the outside, and there you have it, your 3 cool cats. The card is done. Pretty nifty, hey? I'd love to see if you make a pop-up card using this technique or one of the other techniques that I've shown.